I imagine the daily routine of a Netflix executive goes something like this. They wake up in the morning, oh, it's so great to be a Netflix executive. What a day to be alive. We're continuing to pump out content, continuing to raise our subscription prices, but people still gobble this shit up. Speaking of which, we haven't made a romantic comedy that's so cliched, clustered, and coagulated with a whole bunch of bullshit. We haven't made a movie like that since A Family Affair, so let's get more stars on the phone. Benjamin Bratt, what are you doing? Brooke Shields, what are you doing? Miranda Cosgrove, I haven't even talked to you in so goddamn long. What are you doing for a weekend? Come be part of this romantic comedy that has one part cliche, one part romantic bullshit, and so much bland comedy you can't even believe that this actually would be classified as a romantic comedy. But we'll pay you a lot of money, we'll fly you to an exotic location in anywhere this is island world, and you will be able to be part of this romantic adventure. And we'll put it out on our streaming service and it will go so well. And all we have to do is create a story. Let's have a couple that loved each other once, but then they grew apart, but then their kids got together, and oh my god, what could possibly happen with this crazy scenario with slapstick comedy and so much coagulated, goddamn synthetic sympathy bullshit. The amount of bullshit pouring out of this movie is actually astonishing. But we at least have the island paradise. And what do you mean they already did this with Ticket to Paradise? Well, fine, we'll do our own Ticket to Paradise. But this time, we'll have somebody that's basically an AI program write it. Perfect. Greenlight the goddamn movie. My god, what a manufactured motherfucking piece of bullshit this was. Mother of the Bride is a Netflix original from the director of Ghosts of Girlfriends Past as well as Vampire Academy. That's right. That movie. Mark Waters is his name, by the way, in case any of you care. Yeah, Brooke Shields plays Lana! Lana! A doctor that is very driven, lost her husband, has a daughter, named Emma, played by Miranda Cosgrove, who was in iCarly, a show I totally forgot about, and one of the many Nickelodeon shows that certainly has quite a goddamn, bit of oh boy. Oh boy, you want to talk about controversy surrounding those particular shows. Check out the Nickelodeon documentary if you want to see that. Anyway, Miranda Cosgrove is in a romantic comedy, in the sense is advertised as a romantic comedy. But she falls for a guy named RJ. Her and RJ love each other. They're driven to success. But it turns out their parents knew each other back when they were, well, college kids. But then they separated because you got to keep them separated. Hey. So RJ's father, Will, is played by Benjamin Bratt, who used to be in good projects. He was also in Catwoman, but nevertheless, he's a pretty good actor. Brooke Shields was in The Blue Lagoon. So at least she got to return to the sandy beaches of this. And from there we get slapstick comedy and very cliched characters. Rachel Harris looked fucking tremendous, I'll say that. And Tasneem Rock, my goodness, what a gorgeous beauty she is. She's a wedding planner, and then there's story elements of, I'm sorry, but I could not believe how poorly written this was. Emma and Lana have a bit of, a tense relationship, even though they do love each other, because Emma is very driven to have this foundation go well and go off on her own. And her wedding is being planned and basically almost commercialized. And Lana and Will realize that they do have feelings for each other. Also, Chad Michael Murray is in this. Yes, the same Chad Michael Murray. For those of you that are in a certain age bracket, he was the guy that everybody goddamn loved. I believe he was in One Tree Hill. He's also been in some horror movies. I mean, whatever. It is what it is. At least everybody got paid and everybody looked like they had a good time. I didn't have a good time watching this, but nevertheless. The guy that played Stewart on Mad TV, Look What I Can Do, was in this as well. Yeah, so pretty much we get this side plot of, will Lana, won't Lana, will, won't Will, and will Emma stand up for herself and have the wedding she wants instead of a commercialized wedding, and yeah, it's bad. It's really bad. We got the beat. I had the passion beaten out of me by Mother of the Bride. Look, I recognize that I am not in the bracket to enjoy a movie like this, but I have enjoyed romantic comedies in the past. I will take A Family Affair over this because at least that tried. I don't know what the fuck it tried to do, but this is more manufactured stuff, and I hate what movies like this represent. They represent the worst of Hollywood and the worst of studio executives. Yes, people will click on it. Idiots like myself. I recognize that. There are stars in it, and maybe they had a good time making it. I'm pretty certain they probably did, because it couldn't have exactly been a very difficult movie to make. And also, none of the twists, are anything surprising. You obviously get where everything is going with this. It's actually shocking. It's quite frankly shocking that this movie is so sanded off, safe, and manufactured. So yeah, I'm just going to get into spoilers. It's really bad. It is really, really fucking bad. I don't even think it's going to be top 10 worst though. It's just offensively manufactured and bland and generic and wastes of star power. 3, 2, 1, spoilers. So it turns out that Will didn't know what he wanted to do, and Lana was so driven, and that's why they separated. And then Will realized he made a mistake. He went to go propose to Lana, but Lana had already taken off on her honeymoon. This was sometime later, and okay, he figured out his life, but then he ended up marrying a woman that he got divorced from, who they produced 2 children. These 2 children that brought them together, and that's it. And also Rachel Harris is a fucking horn dog. I'm just saying that any guy that would turn down Rachel Harris for how good she looks, you got a problem there. And yes, there are gorgeous locations, and yes, there are pretty people in this, and there is an LGBTQ relationship that is not even necessarily played for laughs. It's just there, like, okay, we have to include this. Whatever, it's fine. I mean, I think you could have maybe fleshed that out a little bit more. Instead of just, okay, they're there. It just, so many of these characters just exist like in a stale bubble. A stale bubble that cannot burst because it's calcified. And it's just holding and drowning out every single positive thing about, what any of these cast members could bring. I mean, I'm struggling to even find the words because the movie is just so bland. They do realize they care about each other. Lana does care about Chad Michael Murray's Lucas. It actually took me a bit to recognize that it was him. This is fucking dreadful. Emma stands up for herself because Kamala, or however you say it, is being an overbearing director. But that doesn't really go anywhere. Everybody just ends up coming together. There was a sight gag a little bit earlier where Brooke Shields and Benjamin Bratt got each other wet. Have fun on seeing that, or have fun seeing that. I don't care. I don't kink shame much. And then that sight gag plays in a little bit later. Now, he was always on the phone, that is. Brooke Shields eventually hears him on the phone. I can't live without you, all this. And that was right after, oh no, they had this confession about a second chance and all this sharing and all this stuff. And oh no. And then the wedding's really, really tense. And then the reception doesn't go all that well. She avoids the goddamn bouquet, the tossing of the bouquet. And, yep, can't do that. Just can't catch that. Benjamin Bratt catches it and says, what's going on? And she says, oh, this woman, you can't live without all this kind of stuff and everything. I realized I didn't want to get in too deep. Oh, wait, it's my assistant. Then this very, very, stocky Russian, Ukrainian lady shows up. And she deserves a raise for putting up with this stuff. I think everybody deserved to be raised on platforms and then sent off the goddamn platforms for embarrassing every goddamn movie fan with something like this. So, yeah, they end up getting, the proposal goes off. Will offers to marry her. And then everybody jumps in the pool while this bad rendition using the beat of Eiffel 65's Blue plays. Look, there was a dancing thing. Everybody was having fun. I mean, that's great, but the thing is the movie's manufactured and bullshit and bland. And I hate it. I hate it. And it's still not even top 10 worst. It's probably not even top 15 worst. I didn't expect much, and I'm trying to branch out more things. This is a 200th movie I've seen this fucking year. Jesus. F. It gets an F, obviously. Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.